All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Heat 1 for the ARCA cars. Ryan McDaniel and Steven Seams will have the front row. Richard Young, Joe Lux on the second row. Brian Hewitt, Zach Mead on the third row. Austin Ruskoff and Richie Joplin round out the field for heat number 1. Jeff, no cautions during the heats, but the cautions are on in the feature. And it does look like Ryan McDaniel will drop to the tail end. That'll put Steven Seams. That'll put Steven Seams and Richard Young will have the front row. Remember, the green flag flies almost the moment the pace car hits pit road, so things heat up quickly here. Here they go, pace car is in. The green flag flies. They are underway for heat 1. We've got one in the wall. Looked like Joe Lux had a problem on the start. He is dropping back quickly. Steven Seams, meanwhile, shoots to the lead. Hewitt to second. Oh, we've got one around. Zach Mead is around. He does recover. Ryan McDaniel had a problem out of 4. Steven Seams continues to lead. Hewitt closing in. Ruskoff in third. Richie Joplin now to 4th. Richie did just set the fastest lap. Joe Lux back in 5th, Zach Mead in 6th, Richard Young in 7th, Ryan back in 8th. Ryan is closing the gap though. Steven Seams, meanwhile, opening up a bit of a gap on Hewitt as Richie looks underneath Ruskoff. Side by side, out of turn 2, down into turn 3. These new ARCA cars are fast. Whoa! Hewitt gets the wall. He loses second. Richie Joplin now to second. Sets his sights on Steven Seams. But 2 laps to go. Oh, Seams gets the wall. Steven quickly drops to the bottom to protect it. But not enough. Richie goes to the lead. Austin Ruskoff looks underneath for second place. Richard Young is around, white flag. One more time around. And Richie is gonna go from the back to the front. Richie Joplin wins heat 1. Austin Ruskoff comes from behind to come home in second. Steven Seams finishes 3rd. On to Heat 2. Bill Rabbits and Ed Sr. have the front row. Justin Schultz, David Lux on the second row. Tyler Clifford, Harley Barlett on the third row. Joey Smith, Jackson McLean round out the field for Heat 2. Hey, good evening, Elf Sutton. How are you? And it looks like Rabbits will be dropping to the back for Heat 2. Justin Schultz, Ed Sr. will have the front row. Elf, I know what you mean, buddy. Pace car leads them through. Justin Schultz, new paint scheme on the ARCA car this week. You can definitely pick him out of the crowd now. He's the shiniest one on track. Jeff fixed setups, and here we go. Green flag is in the air. Schultz is away. David Lux already looking for second place. May get it down the backstretch. Oh! Schultz goes wide. Lux to the lead. Ed Sr. holding on to second, but here comes Clifford. Bill Rabbits has a problem back behind. A lot of chaos. McLean has a problem. David Lux set the fastest lap, now has a 9/10 of a second lead. Joey Smith now to second, Barletta up to third, Tyler Clifford in fourth. Clifford had ran his way even further up, but a little bobble sent him back. Clifford has been fast all night, but zero luck tonight. Justin Schultz, Jackson McLean battling back behind. As Bill Rabbits heads to pit road. Jeff, I should clarify, they do run fixed setups, but they are fixed custom setups from Edwards Setup Shop. Hey, no problem, Elf. 2 laps to go. Lux has a big lead here. Joey trying to run him down, but 1.1 seconds back as they get the white flag one more time around in Heat 2. And down through 3 and 4, David Lux will get the win in Heat 2. And will tonight be the night Lux finally gets her into victory lane in the feature? Well, that was an impressive way to finish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The feature from Five Flags. Edmund Jones and Riley Duncan have the front row. Richie Joplin, David Lux on the second row. Austin Ruskoff, Joey Smith have the third row. Steven Seams, Harley Barlett on the fourth. Brian Hewitt, Tyler Clifford round out the top 10. Zachary Meade starting in 11 next to Jackson McLean in 12th. Joe Lux in 13th, Ed Senior in 14th, Ryan McDaniel in 15th, Justin Schultz in 16th, Richard Young and Bill Rabbits round out the 18-car field here at Five Flags. All right, here we go. They get the one to green. Remember, right after the pace car hits pit road, that next white line, they can fire. They will get the green flag right then. And things are about to heat up. Short track racing at night in southern Florida. Excuse me, northern Florida. I believe Pensacola is northern Florida. Pace car dives to pit row, green flag flies. They're underway the feature here at Five Flags. Everybody makes it down. Whoa, Jackson's got a big run. Ruskoff is around. Big stack up in turn 4. The first caution of the night. And a bunch of cars caught up in this one. It looks like Harley Barletta, Austin Ruskoff, Ryan McDaniel, Joe Lux, all caught up. See if we can see what happened here. Keep an eye on Austin Ruskoff there on the inside. They go off into 3. Ruskoff snaps loose. Joey gets high. Harley had nowhere to go. Wow, and the big pileup. Ryan McDaniel back behind. One of the cars completely lost their front end. You see everybody checking up. Minimal damage, though, to Ryan's car on that one. Hey, good evening, Panda. Good evening, Noah. Thank you for the raid, Panda. Jeff, yep, damage is turned on. So it could be a battle of attrition here tonight. Riley Duncan, Edmund Jones still on the front rows. Here we go. Pace cars in. Green flag back in the air. All right, buddy. Have a great night. Thanks for the raid, Panda. Caution is back out. That didn't take long. And looks like a big pileup back behind. Steven Seams, Justin Schultz, Harley Barletta, Joe Lux, Ed Senior, Tyler Hewitt, Tyler Clifford and Brian Hewitt all involved. Let's see what happens. They go off into 1 and 2. Oh, Seams comes down on the power. Wow, Hewitt gets a big hit. Joe Lux. I don't even... Poor Joe. See if we can get a different angle on Joe here. It looks like he might have gotten stuck in the catch fence. Joe in the middle, he just goes over the hood, and yep, he gets stuck in the catch fence. A few of these drivers did have to tow it in. Joe Lux had to tow it in. Looks like everybody else was able to make it back to pit road. John, you're not wrong. That was the big one. Lights go out on the pace car. They get ready for the restart. Several cars still on pit road. Brian Hewitt, Ed Sr., Joe Lux, Bill Rabbits, Austin Ruskoff. Steven Seams is the only car not on the lead lap, out on track. Everybody else still in the fight. Pace car dives to pit road, and the green flag flies once again. Now we know historically these guys can do most of this race under green flags. Hopefully they've calmed down just a little bit. Nope. Looks like Joey's around back behind. And the caution is back out. Joey Smith, Justin Schultz, both involved. There's Joey in the 50 on the bottom. Just gets loose in the middle. And looks like Schultz was trying to check up to avoid him, and he snaps loose. Everybody else seems to be able to sneak by with minimal damage. Talked about it during pre-race. You're going downhill, coming down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. It is so easy to get the car loose down on the bottom. Schultz is on pit road. Seems getting one of his laps back. Harley Barletta has also taken it in. Riley Duncan, Edmund Jones still have the front row. Richie Joplin, David Lux on the second. Zach Mead, Ryan McDaniel on the third. Richard Young, Tyler Clifford on the fourth. Jackson McLean and Joey Smith round out the top 10. I do believe this is Riley's first race of the season. Sure would be something if the Wonder Kid could pull off the sweep tonight. Lights are out as they stack back up for the restart. Pace car dives to pit road. Here we go. Green flag. Back in the air. Riley is away like a bullet. Through 1 and 2 so far, everybody pointed the right way. And it looks like everybody makes it through 3 and 4 as Jackson McLean on the move. McLean now at 4 spots into 8th. Edmund Jones just set the fastest lap. Now Riley has beat it. Jeff, if memory serves, they have 1 extra set of tires. Richard Young has had a problem back behind. He is slow, but he is recovering. We'll not see the caution for him. Ryan McDaniel trying to hold off Jackson McLean. Joey Smith all the way back into 10th after that incident a moment ago. David Lux currently sitting in 4th right behind Richie. Riley Duncan trying to get away from Edmund. Zach Mead now up into 5th place, still with that lead group at the moment. And about 2.5 seconds ahead of this battle as McLean makes the move up on the high side. Hewitt not on the lead lap. Hewitt right into Ryan's bumper. Looks like Brian is going to back off just a little bit. And caution is out. Let's see what the caution came out for this time. Looked like there might have been an incident up here toward the front. Oh, Richard Young was still slow on the bottom. Caused some problems with the leader, but David Lux was able to capitalize. Let's take another look at this. Looks like Richard was. Oh, Richard gets loose right in front of the leader. Wow. Talk about your close calls. Hey, good evening, Songbird. Lights go back out on the pace car. Just over 1/4 of the way through, it's been a bumpy start to the ARCA race. Now let's see if we can dial up an in-car camera and ride along with Joey Smith as they get the green flag and head back into turns 1 and 2. And this is what it's like going around this track, back down this back straightaway, downhill into 3 and 4. And oh, Joey gets too much power and goes around. Looks like, I believe, Bill Rabbit's in the outside wall. They do recover. No caution yet. My apologies, I picked Joey because I didn't think he would spin. We try not to do anything and make anybody car sick. Riley still has the lead. Let's take a quick look. Joey has taken it to pit road. Let's take a quick look at that incident. There's Joey down the inside through 3 and 4. And then on the power gets loose. Harley gets into him. Once Harley gets him, Bill Rabbits, Brian Hewitt really have nowhere to go. A great job keeping it green, boys. Riley Duncan continues to lead with Edmond right on the bumper. Richie Joplin still has third. David Lux in fourth. Zach Mead now 6 spots into 5th and right on Lux's bumper. Lux goes a little wide out of 4 and gives him the opening. Zach's gonna take it. Lux now back into 5th. Jackson McLean, who started in 12th, has been on the attack since the drop of the green. But every time he's gained some momentum, a caution has come out. He's now got some momentum. He is up to 6th and moving forward. Tyler Clifford now 3 spots into 7th. Ryan McDaniel up 7 spots into 8th. Harley Barletta in 9th. Steven Seams holding on to 10th. Now, previous seasons of Jones BS Racing on YouTube, you can find them there. They did run tour mods. I think a few of these guys out here were just missing the tour mods and knocked the fronts off their car to feel more like they were back in them. Riley and Edmond have opened up a bit of a gap on Richie. Zach right there on Richie's bumper. Jackson McLean getting closer and closer to David Lux. Tyler Clifford also moving forward. Ryan McDaniel's pace holding steady. Harley has gotten to his bumper. Despite being caught up in those early incidents, Harley seems to have quite a bit of speed still. The leader is about to start navigating lap traffic as we approach the halfway point. Could make things very interesting. Both drivers clear the first lap car as Bill Rabbits in the Mountain Dew car. Bill currently back in 14th. However, with Brian Hewitt and Joey Smith still on pit road, Bill's going to make up some ground here. Zach Mead still right there with Richie. David Lux has put a little space between him and Jackson. They're now about a second apart. Tyler Clifford back in 7th, about 1.25 seconds back. Ryan McDaniel in 8th, another 5 seconds back with Harley on his bumper. Does look like with the damage to both Ryan and Harley, Harley's coming in. Right at the halfway point, this is likely to get fresh tires, see if he can do anything with them. The fall off so far on the tires has not been terrible. Right at less than half a second at the moment. Harley already back out on track. And now Harley is a lap down in 9th. Ryan still in the lead lap in 8th. Richard Young back there still in the fight. Richard currently in 11th. Just staying up on that high line, trying to stay out of the way, putting in laps. Right now he scored in 11th. Good strategy. That car is beat up, but staying in the fight, he'll pick up some points. And since we're only halfway through the season, anything could happen from here as we've got a battle for the lead. Edmond looking underneath. Edmond hoping to utilize some of this lap traffic and maybe trap Riley up top. Edmond pulls even, but Riley has the advantage on corner exit. The other advantage right now is these two battle. Richie Joplin's getting closer. John, I seriously doubt it was fuel strategy. They can go the distance. Meanwhile, Richie Joplin less than a second behind the top two. He's got Zach Mead and David Lux closing in as well. Jackson McLean has started to reel Lux back in. Edmond still looks underneath. They continue to battle side by side. Riley comes out ahead for the moment. And now Richie Joplin is there. Zach Mead came with him. Harley Barletta is starting to close the gap back up on Ryan. At the moment, he's about 0.4 of a second a lap faster. Ryan's still way ahead in 8th, about 13 seconds ahead. But as I mentioned, Harley is closing in. And Ryan having just gone a lap down. Edmund Jones has taken the lead. Richie Joplin now battling with Riley for second place. Zach Mead is there as well. And Richie's going to take second. Zach looking for third. Riley Duncan goes from first to fourth in a matter of 5 laps. Once you get pushed to the outside here, not a happy place to be. David Lux back in 5th, closing in on that group. McLean right on his bumper. Meanwhile, out front, Edmund Jones has a half-second lead on points leader Richie Joplin. Remember, coming into tonight, Richie only had a 3-point lead over Edmund. Richie is yet to lead a lap here tonight. Edmund very well could take the points lead here tonight in both series. And Riley Duncan has come to pit road. This is unexpected. And it looks to me like Riley is speeding. He is getting tires. Be 4 tires and fuel for Riley. We've seen it a couple of times over previous seasons where the setup did not give them enough fuel. They were a lap or 2 short. Strategy played out. We'll see if that's the case if everybody comes in at some point. Meanwhile, the leaders are in heavy lap traffic as Richie tries to peek underneath Edmund Jones. Zach Mead in third, pulling right up on him. David Lux in fourth. Jackson McLean's going to go for it. Big send into 1 and 2. McLean now to 4th. Zach Mead back in third, about 0.8 of a second behind the lead battle. And they had a very close call just a moment ago. 25 laps to go. Richie poked his nose underneath. Edmund tried to slam the door, almost slammed into a fender. Things could get rough between this top 2. And since we're looking at the top 2, it's right along with second place, Richie Joplin. Here he comes down the back straightaway, literally downhill into 3 and 4. Back on the power as he heads back up the hill into 1 and 2. Richie looking to the outside. Keeps trying to look underneath. Edmund slams the door. Maybe he'll get it this time. And Richie is going to do it. Richie to the lead. Edmund Jones has second. Now Zach Mead in third. Mead right behind. Jackson McLean now has fourth, 2.5 seconds back. And gaining. David Lux back in fifth. Tyler Clifford in sixth. Ryan McDaniel now in seventh. Harley Barletta in eighth. Steven Seams in ninth. Richard Young in 10th. Riley Duncan out of the race. Bill Rabbit still out on track in 11th. Now that Riley is out of the race. Bill currently in 12th. Likely he'll have enough laps left. He should get to 11th. Despite the rough start for Bill, the strategy and sticking with it is paying off. Meanwhile, Richie Joplin continues to pull away at the front. Zach Mead now right to the bumper on Edmund Jones. We saw Edmund battling with Riley earlier. Richie Joplin and Zach Mead have not battled side-by-side much tonight with anybody. That's going to give them a huge advantage with the tires. And Richie Joplin continuing to put cars a lap down. He just lapped 6th place Tyler Clifford. Only 5 cars left on the lead lap. Richie Joplin, Edmund Jones, Zach Mead, Jackson McLean, and David Lux. David Lux back there in 5th has been so close to victory lane so many times this season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight. But I have a feeling Lux will end up in victory lane before the end of this season. That is, if Edmund Jones doesn't wreck him. Richie has opened up a 2.5 second lead over Edmund at the moment with 9 laps to go at 5 flags. Zach Mead sitting back in 3rd, could not hang with Edmund and now has to deal with Jackson McLean. Oh, Zach goes up the track. McLean may take it. Drag race into 3 and 4. McLean goes deeper. Jackson McLean to 3rd. 6 laps to go. Richie should have mostly clear track from here. 5 laps to go for Richie Joplin. It looked like he was going to lose the points lead earlier tonight, the way this race started, but this is definitely going to help him extend that lead. And here we go, 3 laps to go for Richie Joplin at 5 flags. After starting back in 3rd and avoiding the early chaos, waited patiently behind Edmund until he made a mistake, capitalized, and has checked out. A 3.8 second lead. As he comes through 3 and 4, he will get the white flag one more time around for Richie Joplin. A 4.25 second lead, and Richie Joplin will go to victory lane for the 3rd time this season. Richie wins at 5 flags. Jackson McLean manages to get past Edmund to take 2nd. Edmund Jones coming home in 3rd. Zach Mead holds on for fourth. David Lux in fifth. And let's see if we can get a word with our top three. Edmund, you just burned them up a little too much battling earlier on.
Yeah, just trying to put the pressure on Riley Duncan and trying to stay up there with him. And, really I should have been back there running with Richie. I'm just getting tired of these dirt racers thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want. I have a right to protect the line, and when you go down to the fucking apron and take me out when I'm protecting the line, giving you the outside line, kind of shows what kind of racer you are. So I'll definitely be remembering that in the future.
Well, still managing to hold on for third. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Our apologies for the language. Obviously, the drivers do get a little bit heated at times. Jackson McLean comes home in second. Jackson, you come home in second place, buddy. A heck of a run tonight. A heck of a charge, especially late in the race.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea how I did that.
Well, man, you came from 12th to 2nd. It looks like you made a pit stop on one of those early cautions. I believe that was for repairs that you got caught up in.
Yeah, there was a few incidents right at the start where people were just kind of spinning out in front of me. I got a little loose sometimes, and so I went in just to see if I could get some repairs real quick. I got about 10 seconds of my 40 seconds of repairs, but I didn't want to go a lap down, so I didn't get any tires or anything. I just kind of drove it. So I made sure to come out right before the pace car, and I just kind of tried to keep the tires under it.
Well, you definitely managed to do that, and man charged by, and obviously just taking it easy gave you the fresher tires to get through the field.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, a great job and a great finish. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
And finally, our winner for the third time this season, Richie Joplin back in victory lane, and it looks like patience pays off.
Yeah, I kind of rode there and watched them two race hard, and then had David right there beside him, and he was actually running safe, so I wasn't worried about that. And I don't know, just lucked it up. They used their stuff up, and I got to go up there in the front and win this race.
Well, man, I do have to say the strategy worked out perfectly. You didn't push early when everybody else was, and man, once you got clear of Edmund, it's funny, we were riding along with you when you made the pass, and then you were just gone, so you can thank me for the win.
I appreciate it, Doug, and I appreciate you broadcasting, giving me good luck, and it's better than what I had in the late model race. My late model racing ain't been too good here late in the past couple of weeks, but it'll turn around later on. I'm going to give a shout out to my sponsor, Ally Wood Repair out of Greenville, South Carolina, Flamin' Joe Coffee, maybe Joe Coffee, and Flamin' Karma Designs for the paint. And appreciate you broadcasting, man. I enjoy it.
Great job tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget a charity event the next 2 nights. Make sure you tune in. Looking forward to seeing all of you then. We are in for an exciting week. Hope everybody had a great day. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow afternoon. The Unicorn will be a truckin'. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, y'all.